welcome to the fifth dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness. So we're having one more webinar event again today, October 26th, broadcasting from Los Angeles. So we're back to the riddles. So yes, this poetry. The way out is scary. First, you get a gun, then you put two rivers together. But regardless, it's still scary. So, and it took me 10 years. I just kept playing in my head for 10 years, this poem from my good friend, Bruce Cohen. And then after 10 years, it started to make sense. So every time you're about to break through, and that has happened to me a few times in my life, that I had to let go of everything and jump into the unknown. And jumping into the unknown is frightening, scary, because you're just going to let go of the world that you know, that you've constructed in your mind, and that's the reality, you know, and you're about to let go of that reality, and you're going to jump into something that you are completely unfamiliar with, and you have no idea what's going to happen. And it's very, very frightening. And you're entering into this uncharted territory. And you have to have tremendous trust and drive and something very strong has to pull you, that you're going to enter into this dimension. And so the way out is scary. First, you get a gun, and then you put two rivers together. The gun represents the death of the ego. You get the gun, you were right, Antares, and someone else said something, that you're going to shoot yourself. You're not shooting yourself. Practically, you're shooting that part of yourself. That one that believes in this reality that you're currently living in, and you're going to kill that part. You shoot yourself. And as a result of shooting the ego and just letting go of that part of yourself that is hanging on to this reality, you are entering into this other aspect of yourself, which is trusting existence. You're trusting life will take care of you, and you're jumping into the unknown. And as a result of that movement, there's going to be tremendous amount of power available to you, power of the trusting. When you trust life and you let go of your reality and you jump into a complete unknown space, then comes this tremendous amount of power, which there's no way of knowing it until you really go through the motions. It's similar to, like, you know, there's no way of knowing what pregnancy and giving birth to a child is like until you go through it. No matter how many books you read about it, how many of your friends tell you about it, there's no way knowing it till you actually go through it. And it's the same thing. And you're jumping into this unknown, you're letting go of everything. You're risking everything for something that you have no idea what kind of return is going to give you. And that takes a lot of guts to do. Risking everything and not knowing how it's going to turn out. And not too many people have the bullocks to do that in their lifetime. It takes a very, very special person who is come to this abyss in their life, to this point in their life, this desperation that there's no other way, there's nowhere else to go, and there's only one, it's death of boredom, of old, or breaking through and jumping into the unknown and taking the chance of maybe something new and life with life, aliveness may present itself, but you don't know. You don't know if that's going to happen or not, or if you're going to die from taking this jump into the unknown. You may be eaten up by the demons or dragons. You may be washed and be taken in this river and get drowned. You don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea. But because you haven't done it yet in your life. But you are going to take the chance and do it. And in that, a part of you has to die, must die. There's no other way. So, and you're prepared for that. As much as you're scared, you finally go for it. So again, I go back to the poem. This poetry says the way out is scary. First you get a gun, then you put two rivers together. But regardless, it's still scary. So you have killed the ego, you shoot the ego, and you let go of what you think is your reality, this world that you've constructed around yourself with your friends, family, your job, your home. It's comfortable, everything is familiar, it feels safe, and you're letting go of all that illusion, which is actually a sort of an illusion. And you're jumping into this unknown, and then tremendous amount of power comes in that moment. And there's so much power that now you're capable, you're a magician, you're a prophet. And now you're able to bring two rivers, to pull two rivers together, because there's so much power has come to you in your disposal that you are able to merge in two rivers together out of that power. But you won't know it till you do it. And it doesn't matter what I say or what anybody else says, or how many books you read, how many videos you watch of different people. It does not matter until you do it yourself. You will not know it till you do it. But that's where the transformation is. That's where the beauty of life is that you have to take the jump. And in that, you have to sacrifice something. And there's no prize in the spiritual world. There's no way you can go to a hierarchy and go to the next level without sacrificing a part of yourself, without the death of a part of yourself. If you want to go to this next level, a part of you must die. There's no other way. You cannot cheat it. You know, you can cheat things in your life, with your job, with your family, with your money, with real estate, with positions, You can fake it. But you can't fake it in God's administration. There's no way. There's no way out. So you want to go to the next level, you have to let go of something. There's a price to pay. There's a sacrifice you have to make.
Can you talk a little more about the ego?
Talk a little bit more about the ego. Okay, Shishi's asking me if I would talk about more about the ego. The ego is we hear about the ego a lot. So many different books and people and teachers, and they've talked about the ego. The ego really is a thought, is the I thought. I thought. I am this character named Zarathustra. It is a false notion of a personal doer, a person who thinks is separated from the source and thinks that is in control of its own life. And that's what it is. It's a thought. That's all it is. It's a simple thought. Me separated from everything. I am mighty, I'm powerful, I'm the author of my own life, I'm the one who manifests things, I'm the one who decides how things go, and that's what ego is. It's a false identity, and which we have all picked up from childhood, from age 2 and on. We have picked up this false identity of this belief that we are separated from totality, we're independent, therefore we have to preserve the unit. It's all me, what's in there for me, and then it goes on, and the whole thing, the whole story starts. And that's the part of the Leela of life. It's not like you can't blame yourself for picking up that identity because it's really not your fault. The entire system is designed to go in that direction. And that is because the source of all wants to experience the moments of life through the unit. Each body-mind mechanism is an antenna of God. It is a way of God, of the source, to experience duality, separation. Because the source, at its core, it's completely oneness. So, and is not aware of itself. God, consciousness, and it's no movement. You know, it's like an ocean. It's like imagine an ocean that there is no wave in it. It's completely flat. There's zero waves. So it's always flat. So the same thing, pure consciousness at its core is not aware of itself. It's just is. The oneness is. It doesn't know it is. It simply is. But then there comes maybe a movement, a wave, and that wave creates the illusion of duality. You know, there's two different waves rising. And then, you know, it just comes in a form of opposites, but they're both coming from the same ocean. So now it has an opportunity to take a look at itself and notices its existence, because it cannot know itself when it's only one. So it has to create some sort of wave. The ocean creates the waves, so then they can see each other. It can see itself in the form of duality. And hence starts the world and its dramas and everything. But you can examine this because you are that. You're one of the waves. And then when you sleep at night and you're not dreaming, there's no dreams. zero mind activities, and you're sleeping and you disappear. There's no you anymore. And for 5 or 6 or 8 hours that you sleep and you're not dreaming, there is zero awareness of your own existence. You disappear. You go back into the original source of nothing, of simply being, but not being aware of itself. Then you wake up in the morning. And as you wake up, the first thought always that comes in any human being mind, the first thought for everyone, it doesn't matter who they are, is the me, the I thought. Me or I am Zarathustra, I am Shishi, I am Antares, and then boom, tack, 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 is like the whole world, your whole story comes back. If you pay attention, you can make a practice out of that. You wake up in the morning, and sometimes you can see, if you pay attention, you wake up, there's the first few moments, sometimes you don't even know who you are. You can't remember your name, you don't know your own story, and then all of a sudden you remember who you are, and then your kids appear, your husband, your partner, your wife, your house, your problems, everything reappears. But when you sleep and you don't dream, everything disappears. There's nothing. So every single night when you sleep and you don't dream, you go back to your original source. Pure being. Once you understand this, that's tremendous amount of freedom, because there's nothing to worry about. There's no boogeyman. There's nothing that's gonna happen to you, because you are the source, which is always here. There's no death, really, and there is no birth. You can't die. Where would you go? You've always been the ocean. The ocean is always here. It's just the wave appears and then the wave goes back into the ocean, which is you are. And the wave is a part of the ocean. So where would it go? How can it die? It rises from the source and it goes back to the source. As simple as that. Yet very difficult for many to understand. Let's see if I have a question. Okay, I have a question here. Don't you always dream at night? You just don't know about it or remember the dream? Yeah, I mean, there are different levels of dreams. There's the first level that we have high REM. So our dreams are very vivid. Then there's the second level of dream that the REM is less. And then it just keeps going. But then the fourth level is there's very, very little of REM. And that's the fourth level of dream, is that you don't remember anything. And there has been very, very little movement. So you sleep, and then a few hours you wake up and you've been gone. And you tell yourself, oh my God, I slept so well. I was gone. You know, have you had that kind of sleep that you sleep and it's a deep, deep sleep, even if it's for 10 minutes, half an hour? There's no you. Check it out for yourself. Every morning you wake up, pay attention. Just look at the way you slept. All right. So that was my explanation of the ego. But you know, ego, of course, it's a necessity of the duality because it's designed, it's there because it's for the preservation of the unit and for the lila of life. It's designed to be there so the story can continue. The drama, the duality of life can continue. The entire existence is in very good hands. It's all taken care of by the big daddy, the Supreme Soul, by Her Majesty. It's all in very good hands. Once you begin to realize it and recognize it, there is nothing for us to be afraid of, no matter what happens. The story is happening, like what is going on right now in the world. That is all designed. It's all itself. It's all happening by God. It's all happening by the source. The source comes as Donald Trump. The source comes as North Korea. The source comes as the hurricane. The source comes as a mother loving its children. The source comes as a saint. It's all itself. When your third eye starts to open and you begin to realize that it's all a part of the ocean. Everything is a wave coming from the ocean. Everybody, every person, good, bad, whatever, is another character playing its role. And its power source is consciousness. And you begin to see that everywhere in everyone. Then your fear disappears. A tremendous amount of calmness takes over, and you completely trust that all is very well. The one that runs the show knows what to do. And it's been doing this ever since the ever since. We think like life started it by the creation or the beginning of humankind on this planet. Life has always been and will always be. And it's not limited to planet Earth. Consciousness is always here. That's the beauty of the understanding. That's the beauty of awakening to yourself, recognizing your original true nature, which you are that. You are consciousness. And consciousness is always here. And there's nothing to worry about, nothing to be afraid of. Nothing could be lost. Because your true nature is that, and you are always been, and you will always be. You can see it for yourself when you go into your deep meditation and you go beyond the thinking mind and you sink into your heart and everything quiets down. The mind disappears and you become really quiet and the presence reveals itself. because there's no longer the ego. There's no longer that sense of separation. The sense of separation or the ego disappears, and the bliss appears. And in that deep meditative state, there is no thought coming and saying, what's going to happen to me if this world ends? There is no one questioning it any longer. It simply is. You have experienced that many times in deep meditation. And that's why it's important to come together in satsang. Satsang, the association of the seekers on the path, the association of the monks on the path. We come together and we'll go to meditation and we come back to the source, our own source. And we realize that all is well. Everything becomes quiet and calm, and we feel the bliss. We feel the love. The fear disappears. Then you go back to the world, and the world is in duality and all kinds of anxiety, fear comes. Again, the problems appear, they rise, and they look very real. And you may get scared. Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Me. And then you come back and you sit in the meditation, you go back deep inside yourself, you come back to the heart, and everything becomes quiet. Everything disappears. So you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you get established in this place. Then the other world doesn't fool you anymore. You're not afraid of it any longer. You don't even take it seriously any longer. And it starts to appear to you as an illusion. You begin to see that it's not real. It's made of a world of thoughts. It's just thoughts. It's not real. But prior to that, it's very real. Until you start to realize it. It doesn't matter how many times I tell you it's not real. You have to figure it out for yourself. But yes, the teacher is pointing you out to that direction, but you're the only one who's going to discover it. And the only way to do that is to go into silence, to get away from the thought worlds, the world of thoughts. The mind, you have to go beyond the thinking mind, into the silence, and then the world disappears. And then you go back into the mind, and the world is there, and it's frightening. And then you come back again, and it disappears. So you do it so many times till you realize this is the truth. Okay, question. Can we, okay, don't you, all right, let's see. Can we use dreams to serve in our reality? Some of the dreams are like TV series or story repeat itself. Can we use dreams to serve in our reality? Yeah, dreams are basically, what are they? They're thoughts. They're visions, thoughts. It's the same thing as our daily life. They're all made of thoughts. I don't really give my dreams a lot of importance. Sometimes they are significant and they give me a message, but generally I don't give it a lot of importance. And I treat them like the daily news and life. The only way you're going to become free is if you really disconnect from the world of the thoughts. Otherwise, which is called the Maya. Otherwise, if you get involved in the Maya, then you really involve into the world and you see the world as a reality. Therefore, you will suffer because the world, this dimension we live in right now, with what is going on every day, there's a drama. It's designed to get your mind very activated and keep you into fear and anxiety. And you've done that all of your life. And down deep inside you, you know there is something more than that. And that's why we're here together. There's only one way out. You have to go beyond your mind, into the silence. And the more you go to the silence, means no thought activities, the more you realize the truth. That's it. How can how can I activate my third eye? Is it something I can do by myself? Okay, that's a question. I have a third eye activation DVD that you can purchase and start using the exercises and or come to one of my workshops and we get your third eye activated. So, but if you don't have access to, if you can't come to one of my workshops, then you can purchase the DVD, and the DVD is very thorough and gives you all the exercises you need to get your third eye activated. Maybe we should put a third eye activation online workshop, Shishi. What do you think? Because it's been...
we don't have one right now.
No, I don't have one. I'm thinking about it. Maybe we do one in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
In LA?
Well, yeah, it's online. We can do an online because a bunch of people have asked me to do something. And
Yeah.
what do you think? Should we put a third eye activation online? Yeah, we can do something for 2 or 3 hours, so it's doable. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, give me comments if you feel like it. Let me know what works the best. 2 hours, 3 hours, what day, weekend, probably on a weekend we can do one. All right, so for the moment, speaking of the third eye, why don't we bring our attention on our third eye? And this is no thinking, all right? So the meditation we're going to do is simply bringing attention to a point, okay? For example, bring your attention, like, is there like a humming by your refrigerator? If you're in your kitchen, the refrigerator is making sounds, there's a humming noise coming from the refrigerator. You bring your attention on that. Or if there is like something making noise at your home, or you're hearing the heater or the air conditioning, and the device is making some noise. Or you have a blow dryer, you turn on your blow dryer, at your home and your attention goes to the blow dryer. And you're just simply putting your attention on something. Or if you live somewhere in a city and you can hear the cars driving by and street noise, you bring your attention to that. So this is the same way. You're simply bringing your attention to one point. You're not trying not to think, you're not thinking. Simply putting your attention on one point. So you bring your attention on your third eye. So it's pretty much zero effort. You're not putting any effort. You're not really trying. You're just keeping your attention on one point. And you take a deep breath and you breathe in through your third eye. You breathe in and out from your third eye, as if there's a tunnel here and you're breathing from that point. You're simply keeping your attention on one point. Now we're going to make a noise. As we're doing that, we're creating a noise. And we're just going to go like, this is how we do it. As you're making the noise, pay attention. You can see like there is vibration happening to your third eye and the pineal gland, which is the same. You can feel the vibration. Just make the noise. Do that. Just be active with the noise. And you can see the vibration affecting your pineal gland. Take a deep breath. Bring your attention back on your third eye. And keep breathing in and out from your third eye as if there's a tunnel here. And you're breathing through it. As during your meditation, you can see gently your mind becoming very still. Thoughts, they either disappear or you can see the mind and the distance between you and the mind. A deep sense of calmness will take over. And a deep understanding that all is well. Take a deep breath from your third eye. Now, as you're breathing in, just see there's a tunnel here and there's green light. You're breathing in, green light going through the tunnel, goes to the center, and you're breathing it out, and it goes up. You're breathing in, the green light goes in, and the green light goes up. Slowly, slowly come back. Come back here. Do you feel you're calm and quiet? Yes? Okay. Is the world problems disappeared? Are you worried about the world right now? No. No. No, the world disappears when your mind becomes quiet and reappears with your mind. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Just know one thing is that this madness, this craziness that you're experiencing is an animation of your own mind. This world that you experience that seems to be in chaos is representing your own chaotic mind. But not to blame yourself that you have created it. It's one collective mind that is going crazy with all these electromagnetic waves of the cell phones, the computers, the computer rotors and everything, you know, all this stuff going on, TV, radio, all this stuff. One collective mind is in madness. So you're looking at that. Donald Trump is a representation of your crazy mind. What's the president of North Korea, Kim Jong-un? Huh? Kim Jong-un is a representation of our own crazy mind. The madness that goes here, you're looking at it. It manifests. So when you become quiet and come back in here, all of that disappears. It's just as if it doesn't exist. When you go into your deep meditation, everything disappears. Your body is not there. Your problems aren't there. Your drama with your relationships disappear. Everything disappears. When you go into silence and you're back home, no problem. Okay, somebody raised hand. That's, Yanni, I'm gonna unmute you. Yeah, Yanni Ferenci. Yanni Ferenci, you have a question? Hello, are you there? No? I thought you had a question. I unmuted you. Maybe I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. So anyway, Okay, you disappeared. Fine.
Scared her.
I scared her, maybe. I'm scary.
The way I was scared.
Yeah. Miss Shishi, do you mind if you give me a little bit more coffee, honey? Yeah, to jumpstart the machine. The machine is still sleepy. I had a big fifth dimensional quantum healing event on Sunday. We had about 70, 80 people there. It went really well. Everybody got psychic surgery, shamanic exorcism done on them. But I was out yesterday. I was just flat, tired all day long. So I rested. So my body's still waking up from the work. All is well, my dear friends. Nothing is going on. Okay? Comprende? Yeah? Nothing is going on. You don't need to worry about anything. Don't let the noise scare you. Don't buy into it. No matter what happens. Earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanoes. You stay in your center. You stay like this. I'll show you. No matter what happens, you just go into your center. And you're the Buddha. You stay in your meditation, no matter what is happening. Fires, earthquakes, volcanoes, blah, blah, blah. You stay in your center. You don't come out of your center. You don't buy into it. As simple as that. Otherwise, you're going to identify with the Lila. Lila is the Maya, the world. And then you're just going to be torn into pieces. If you identify with it, then it becomes real and it drags you down. I'm not talking about, somebody may come and say, sweetheart, can you nuke this? It's cold. Shishi, honey, do you mind if you warm this up for me? Thank you, honey. So people will come and say, well, I can't be ignorant to the problems of the world or to the suffering. I understand that. I get it. But do you think Ramana Maharshi, do you think the Buddha, they had compassion for human beings, but they didn't identify with the world. They didn't buy the world as real. If they did, then it wouldn't be Gautama Buddha. It wouldn't be Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi, one of the most amazing saints of the modern days. He lived during the World War II. He lived in Arunachala, by the Arunachala, the foothill of this mountain in Tiruvannamalai in southern India. We have posted some of his photos on our Academy page on Facebook. And he's known as the saint of southern India. And during the whole movement of the India, the nationalists, they wanted to separate from the British rule and the Second World War. The whole world was falling into pieces. And they were in war with each other. And people would go to Ramana Maharshi, and he was lying down on his bed with a little lungi around him, just totally unconcerned with the world. They would go to him, great saint, great Buddha. They would go sit at his feet, and they were saying, oh, Japanese are about to invade India, or the Brits are or Germans are taking over, the whole world is falling into pieces. Oh, great saint, what should we do? And he's just lying down there, totally silent, totally unconcerned, and silent. He was one of the most powerful enlightened avatars of the mankind. Many people got enlightened by Ramana Maharshi's gaze. He would look into people's, thank you. He would look into so many people's eyes. He would just stare in your eyes for a minute or two or three, and people would get enlightened from him looking at you. And he's the embodiment of silence. You're welcome to Google him. We'll post on the Academy page, we'll post pictures of him. I consider him my grandfather, my spiritual grandfather. Ramana Maharshi. He was completely still and silent, quiet and still. Still means, I don't mean like he did not move. What I mean was he was not identified with the ups and downs of the world. He was completely still. He did not buy into the world as real. He saw the entire illusion. Therefore, he didn't identify with it. He didn't concern himself with it. So that's your salvation. You want to be free. You go beyond the mind and you find the silence and stillness within yourself. And as you do that, and the closer you get to it, the more you touch it, the more you become free from the web of the mind. And you feel the bliss. And you realize all is very well, in fact. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing. Yet, you live your daily life. You still have to pay your rent, your mortgage. You still have to go pick up your kids from school. You still have to cook food. You have to take your medicine. You have to take care of your body. You have to do all your worldly things. I understand that. That doesn't mean that you come to this realization, then you don't have to do anything anymore in your life. No, you live your life like the way you lived it before. But you are free from the drama. You're free from the world. You are in the world, but you're not of the world. That's the way of the sannyasin. That's the way of the spiritual warrior. Otherwise, if you fall into the trap and you believe it, you are in deep trouble. And you're going to have to come back and repeat this over and over again because you think it's real. You fall into the lila. And then you're going to have to come back for another round. And get married and have kids and get heartbroken and lose and and go through the whole thing. You want to do this again? Or are you ready to finish it this time and wrap it up? You have to decide. And you're going to have to drag me back here again one more time to show you the way out. So please don't. Let's finish it up this time and be done with it. I think we did our schooling. We learned our lessons. We don't need to come back and repeat learning ABCD. We're ready for the next level. Any questions, my darling friends?
Can you talk a little about gurus and what do you feel about that?
Okay, Shishi's asking me, can I talk about gurus and what do I feel about it? Yeah, is that right, Miss Shishi?
You can tell how on our website under articles we have a bunch of new content, and one of them is gurus. But I was wondering how you personally feel about gurus.
Shishi says in our website we have a bunch of articles about gurus and spirituality, shamanism, healing.
It's in the link at the top says articles.
Yeah, there's a link on the top in our website, Zarathustra.tv, that says articles. So Shishi is informing me. So she's more advanced than I am. I have to say it. Let's put it that way. So what? So what do I feel about gurus and teachers? Obviously, I was blessed that I have had some magnificent, tremendous awakened beings appeared on my way, and they helped me and showed me the way out. And for many of us, having a guru, a teacher is necessary. In absolute reality, the real guru is within ourselves. And we all have that. We all have our guru within ourselves. But we don't understand the language. So we can't really, because your inner intuition, which is your guru, is always speaking to you. But we don't hear it. We don't understand the language, or we doubt it. So for many of us, we need an other guru. We need one who appears in the other world to show us the way. And the teacher has many different faces. It's not necessarily one person with one mask. It can change at time to time. And as you awaken and your third eye opens up, your all-seeing eye still begins to open and you can hear, then then you start to receive teachings from many different angles and aspects of life. An 8-year-old can become your guru at one moment and teaches you things. We start to learn and hear. So for me, I was very, very lucky. I came across Master Punjaji. We called him Papaji. And he introduced me to Advaita Vedanta, which is the very basis of what I teach. Silence, a quiet mind. And that teaching helped me to realization and to freedom, of recognizing my own true nature, of recognizing the seer, the observer, the witness, which is within all of us, that which sees things. And in one lifetime, you may go through different gurus. You may have different teachers. At different stages of your development, different teachers are applicable. You may outgrow the teaching and you need to move on. But it's always good to sample different teachers and see which teaching, even after I met Papaji, even after I came across Advaita Vedanta, I still checked out other teachers to see and to taste the flavor, and I didn't really resonate with other teachers. Advaita Vedanta teaching is what I really resonate with, but I did learn from other people. A lot of the teachings, they have do's and don'ts. What I liked about Advaita Vedanta, there was no rules. But there are people who need structure and rules. So if you're one of those people, then you do what you have to do. There's another question here. Our dear friend, how to deal with the pattern of self-sabotaging on a deep unconscious level. It's from generations back in my family on my mother's side. These self-sabotaging unconscious patterns, basically when we start to practice watching and being observant of our own mind, we begin to watch the mind, then this self-sabotaging, so-called self-sabotaging unconscious pattern begins to reveal itself. When you're watching, you're aware, and you're looking at your own patterns, then that pattern loses its power over you, because now it's being observed. Prior to that, it's an unconscious pattern that is not being observed, it's not being known. But when you begin to look at it, then it begins to lose its power. So observation is the key, is the way you get over something. By simply being aware of it, observing it. And when it repeats itself, you're simply telling yourself the unconscious pattern, it's not unconscious anymore. If you're aware of something, then it cannot be unconscious anymore, even though if you do it. Even though if okay, I'm alcoholic, I gotta drink my thingy, I have to get drunk, but now I'm aware that I'm an alcoholic. I have an awareness that I have an alcohol problem. Now it's not unconscious anymore. I'm aware, I'm conscious of my alcoholism. Simply by becoming aware of it. But what is alcoholism, or what is being an unconscious pattern? It's the mind, it's a thought coming in your mind that I need to have pizza, I need to have chocolate, I need to see this guy, whatever, is my man, my woman. I have to be with him. It's a thought comes into your mind. So if you become aware of your thoughts, now we're not talking about positive thinking or negative thinking. We're simply becoming aware of our thoughts or of our emotions passing through us. And if you simply get into the habit of looking at it and being aware of it, then that thing starts to lose its power, whatever that is. It may take a while, but you're acknowledging it's coming, whatever the desire, the strong desire that you have to go back to this partner. you go back into this relationship, you're in an abusive relationship. This man or this woman is verbally abusive, physically abusive, but you can't cut it off. You know, you get back together, everything's lovey-dovey, and then he beats you or hits you or he verbally abuses you or he cheats on you and you're hurt, you come back, you say never again, and then 2 weeks after you go back to this person and you keep repeating the pattern. But simply by becoming aware of this repetition of this pattern, you're becoming aware of it, acknowledging it, then the pattern starts to lose its power. Because now you're aware of it, even though if you do it. So it's a thought, or it's an emotion that comes. And the thought comes, I need to get this, I need to have it, but it's a thought. Did I answer the question, Shishi? Is it satisfactory or?
So you interrupt the thought and go to silence. Is your suggestion? Simply
being aware of the thought, you know, the thought comes that I need to have a drink. I'm stressed out. I had a very stressful day. I need to have a drink. It's a thought comes and says, oh, it's been hectic. I'm so stressed out. I have to have a drink to calm down. I have to have a cigarette to calm down. But it's a thought or a desire in a form of a feeling or a thought comes. Simply the observer within observes this emotion or this thought rising. Once we learn to be the observer, we practice being the observer, then what happens is there's a separation between the one which is observing and the thought that comes and goes. They're not one anymore. They become separated. And the more the observer observes these thoughts, these emotions, and the observer stays in its place, doesn't get attached, involved with it. It knows the watcher, the observer, can observe an emotion come and go. Therefore, it's not the emotion. It's observing something coming and going. So it's not that thing. The more you're in that position, the more that thing loses its power and cannot control you. We're not trying to push this feeling to go away. We're not trying to resist the feeling. We're not trying to deny it. We're simply observing it. And it will come and go as it pleases. But you're simply aware of it. And that awareness will lead you to freedom. Let's see how we're doing with time. Okay, we have a little. Yeah.
Jumping jacks?
Huh?
Is it jumping jacks?
Not today. Is there any other questions? Anybody else has a question? Have a question? I'm going to unmute you all and see what happens, and then we go from there. Let's see. Okay. Anybody has a question?
No. No, I don't have a question.
How is everybody doing?
Fine, good,
Good.
Fine.
good. Perfect.
Everybody good. Okay. Wow.
Very good.
I have something. When the third eye is activated, sometimes I feel a pain here, and then it comes and goes. And my question is, when it has opened completely, will that sensation stop then?
It depends on the person. Everyone reaction and the body is different.
Okay.
So there is no one set formula that when your third eye is completely open, you're not feeling anything anymore.
Okay.
But normally it is with the association of that. It's kind of an indication of the body to tell you you're on the right path.
Okay.
Because if you didn't sense anything, in a way you wouldn't know something's going on, even though it's happening, but you wouldn't know. But when the body is giving you a sensation, it gives you a relief and happiness that something's happening, you know? But not everybody. Go ahead.
During this seminar, I had this pain here coming and going, and it was quite intense. But after the meditation, it sort of released a little bit.
You mean during our workshop, our in Sweden?
No, now here, this evening.
No, here. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you brought your attention on your third eye today.
Yeah.
And then you started to feel sensation.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought your attention on your third eye. You know, where the attention goes, the energy flows. Your attention went in that direction, and then you started to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Well, it's good to see you all. I look forward to our next academy, which is going to be next Tuesday, same time. October 3rd. Tuesday, October 3rd, at the same time, which is 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time and 7 in the evening European time. And as we're getting closer to the October, I'm coming back to Scandinavia at the end of the October. So we're going to have a series of different events in Sweden, Norway, Sweden, and then I go to Poland for the first time, which I'm excited about all of it. Okay, it's nice seeing you all. And feel free to write to me on Facebook or on Academy page or email if anything comes up for you and you have any other questions. And you can always check out my schedule of upcoming events on Zarathustra.tv. We'll be posting this Academy session on my YouTube channel and Facebook, so you can watch it again if you wish so. In the meantime, wish you a lot of goodness and love and light, and just do your meditation, stay in your center, and be happy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.